In this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives one particular reason for their practices of killing their own children. Sometimes they would kill newborn girls. Sometimes they would kill children who had grown up. One of the reasons was out of ignorance and the types of cultures that were so prevalent at that time that men just inherited these practices and did not think for themselves about what they were doing and the effects of these practices upon wider society. Have a look at this verse 140 of Surah Al-An'am. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. قَدْ خَسِرَ الَّذِينَ قَتَلُوا أَوْلَادَهُمْ سَفَهًا بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ وَحَرَّمُوا مَا رَزَقَهُمُ اللَّهُ افتراء على الله قَدْ ضَلُّوا وَمَا كَانُوا مُهْتَدِينَ. They are indeed lost, those who kill their children foolishly without knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is highlighting here the principal problem was a lack of ilm. And of course, the opposite here would be their ignorance. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala follows this up. What else do they do? وَحَرَّمُوا مَا رَزَقَهُمُ اللَّهُ افتراء على الله. And forbid what Allah has given to them. You can see in this particular verse, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu is giving an indication towards rizq here. That Allah has provided for them, yet out of the practices and the cultures that they have embedded for themselves, these men, without thinking, without any knowledge, prefer to be able to kill their own children off. Sometimes it was baby girls, sometimes it was younger girls, sometimes it was younger boys. Why? Why did they do this? At that time, it was imagined that girls had little to no value in themselves. Boys would be able to work for families, therefore they could earn money. Whereas girls were considered to be some sort of burden upon the family unit. They did not earn, rather they costed money. There was also a horrible type of practice that was embedded into the Arab societies. As you know, at that time, one of the main problems was that there was constant wars that occurred between tribes. Tribes used to snatch girls and take them as slaves. It was considered to be a shame on your tribe if your tribe had lost a female family member from your tribe and been taken to another tribe. And so the men at that time would prefer to kill their own female family members to avoid them being captured in wars. Now think about this. Imagine the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes to your society. How does he address this particular problem? Men are killing their own female family members out of the potential shame that in the constant wars that they are taking place, that there might be a raid on the tribe, and in that war, female family members are going to be snatched and taken as slaves by the opposing tribe. What is the root of the problem? Is the root of the problem killing of women? Or is there something that the men fear prior to that? What's the answer? What do they fear? What's the problem? The problem is the war, isn't it? That's the root of the problem. So in order for you to be able to stop the outcomes of killing your own female family members, what would the Prophet ﷺ have to stop from occurring from within them? The practices of constant war, tribal rivalries. This is why when the Qur'an comes and tells us that we are one human community, and that we've been created out of tribes and nations for the purpose of getting to know one another, that we are one ummah, and we are supposed to put away the pettiness that exists within us, the rivalries that were created. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger did so in order to protect us from the evils that come out of that afterwards. This is one way that the Qur'an responded to this particular problem. So the jahiliyyah that was prevalent at that time, and the types of constant tribal hatreds, was a reason as to why men would actually kill their own family members. Imagine killing your own female family members out of a fear of them being taken captive because of the wars that we are engaged in. This is the lack of knowledge that Allah is speaking about in these verses.